royal editor of Harper's Bazaar US and co-author of Prince Harry and Meghan biography Finding Freedom, Omid Scobie, suggested the Sussexes' desire to leave the royal family could be attributed to their demands of the press. Mr. Scobie believed the royal couple had asked for a review into who was allowed into the royal press pack and said Meghan wanted more US outlets to be involved, considering she is American. But the pair were told the institution could not oblige, and if they wanted to decide who they spoke to they would have to fund it themselves and be independent, according to Mr. Scobie. Speaking on the BBC's podcast, Harry, Meghan and the Media, Mr. Scobie claimed there were rumblings from the Sussexes over which media platforms had access to them. Mr. Scobie said, the first conversations about wanting financial independence actually were born out of Prince Harry's frustration of having to work alongside the royal press pack. For him, he wanted that distance. For Meghan, she was frustrated that there was never any inclusion when it came to foreign publications, particularly those in the US. She is American. Why can't there be American newspapers or television networks allowed to cover? He added, or have the same level of access as British media organizations. But of course, as they're often told, that's not how things are done. And so when Harry really raised the issue or the question of could we operate away from the press pack and carry out our own engagements with members of the press that we want to work with, the answer that came from the top was, well, if you fund it yourself, you can pay for your own engagement. Mr. Scobie said the conversation planted one of the first seeds for Harry and Meghan to pursue independence. The royal expert then claimed when Harry wanted to speak to other royals about the issue, who had insisted on speaking face-to-face, he encountered resistance, as he was unable to secure time to meet them. Harry and Meghan were eventually allowed to meet with the other royals in January, which was when details of the departure from the family began to be leaked. Mr. Scobie claimed the leak meant the story now became out of Prince Harry and Meghan's control, and they would struggle to shape it how they deemed fit. In a BBC documentary called The Princes and the Press, Mr. Scobie also claimed that the royal households were briefing against one another to secure favourable coverage. Mr. Scobie said negative stories about the Sussexes have been briefed by royal households, with journalist Dan Wootton instead arguing people came to the press because they were getting annoyed over their behaviour. A joint statement from the royal households read, "A free, responsible and open press is of vital importance to a healthy democracy. However, too often overblown and unfounded claims from unnamed sources are presented as facts, and it is disappointing when anyone, including the BBC, gives them credibility." Harry, Meghan and the Media released its 5-part series on BBC Sounds after rumours circulated it had been shelved due to royal backlash.